Today, we're going to explore how to use the Invoke-WebRequest CMDlet with Proxies in PowerShell. Using Proxies is crucial for protecting your identity, avoiding IP bans, and bypassing geo-blocking. Let's dive in and see how you can easily implement Proxies in your PowerShell command. What is PowerShell Invoke-WebRequest? Invoke-WebRequest is a PowerShell commandlet for sending HTTP, HTTPS, and FTP requests to web servers and web services. By default, it automatically parses the server's response and returns collections of forms, links, images, and other significant HTML elements. This commandlet is commonly used for accessing REST APIs, downloading files, or interacting with web services. This is the basic syntax of an Invoke-WebRequest request. Installing Invoke-WebRequest. To use Invoke-WebRequest, you need PowerShell. Let's learn how to install PowerShell and get access to the Invoke-WebRequest commandlet. Windows. Windows PowerShell is the version that ships with Windows, and the latest version is 5.1. Windows PowerShell provides the Invoke-WebRequest commandlet, so if you're on a modern Windows release, you're ready to go. For older versions, follow the official PowerShell installation guide. Some features of Invoke-WebRequest are only available starting with PowerShell 7.x. To verify your current version, use this command: macOS and Linux. PowerShell 7.x can be installed on both macOS and Linux, but using curl is recommended for both of these operating systems. Curl offers the same capabilities and comes pre-installed on macOS and most Linux distributions. Prerequisites to get started with a proxy in PowerShell. A proxy acts as an intermediary between your computer and the internet, masking your IP address. To get started, you need to understand the structure of a proxy server URL. You can find free proxies online for learning purposes, but for reliable use, consider using premium proxies from BrightData. How to specify an HTTP proxy in Invoke-WebRequest. To specify an HTTP proxy, use the -proxy flag in your command. This command routes your request through the specified proxy, and it should print something like this. Using environment variables. You can also set environment variables to use a proxy for all PowerShell requests. After setting the environment variables, every Invoke-WebRequest will use the specified proxies without needing the proxy flag. After setting the ENVS, launch the command below. How to use HTTPS and SOCKS proxies in PowerShell. To use HTTPS or SOCKS proxies, upgrade to PowerShell 7.x+. The command structure remains the same. What changes is that protocol will be HTTPS, SOCKS4, SOCKS4a, SOCKS5, or SOCKS5a instead of HTTP. If you try to invoke a request with a proxy involving a protocol other than those mentioned above, you will get this error. Thus, a complete example of an Invoke-WebRequest SOCKS proxy is as follows. Tips and tricks. Consider adding an example of sending a request with proxy authorization, since the one above will not work with BrightData proxy, but will work in general with other proxies. Our request looks like this, and the response remains the same with the proxy IP. Ignore proxy configuration. Use the -no proxy option to prevent Invoke-WebRequest from using the configured proxy PowerShell. Avoid SSL certificate errors. Use the skip certificate check option to avoid SSL certificate errors in PowerShell. Skip certificate check helps you to avoid certificate errors by allowing insecure server connections. Keep in mind that using this parameter is not secure. Set it only when dealing with known hosts. Choose the right proxy. The type of proxy you should use depends on your needs. Data center proxies are fast and cheap, but can be easily detected and blocked. Residential proxies provide high anonymity with genuine IP addresses from real devices. ISP proxies are secure and reliable, offering static IPs from devices registered with ISPs. Mobile proxies provide IPs from real mobile devices, ideal for accessing mobile-specific content. Conclusion. In this guide, you learned what Invoke-WebRequest is, how to use it with HTTP, HTTPS, and SOCKS proxies, and tips for using proxies in PowerShell like a pro. While free proxies are okay for learning, premium proxies from BrightData are the best for reliable and efficient web scraping. BrightData offers a vast network of data center, residential, ISP, and mobile proxies, ensuring high success rates and reliable information retrieval. BrightData controls the best proxy servers in the world, serving Fortune 500 companies and over 20,000 customers. Its worldwide proxy network involves data center proxies, over 770,000 data center IPs, residential proxies, over 72 million residential IPs in more than 195 countries, ISP proxies, over 700,000 ISP IPs, mobile proxies, over 7 million mobile IPs. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more tutorials. Until next time, happy scraping.